Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, my name is LJ and you're watching NoClutch Garage. Today we have a very simple video. We're going to be doing an unboxing on a new product from Bimmer Motorsports. Today's video is going to be focused on performance, as with most of my videos, but this specific mod is actually applicable to most people that are wanting to get the most performance out of their car. And contrary to most of the other videos that I've done that are related to the car's performance in terms of engine power, we're going to be talking a little bit about the transmission. Now, some of you guys know, if you've been keeping up with my Instagram at all, because I've neglected YouTube for quite some time now, you know that the weakest link in my car right now is the transmission. And to be completely fair to my transmission and my build, I do have a lot of power going through that car. So it's not exactly that the transmission is weak. It's just that these cars can make so much power. At some point, you have to upgrade everything. Now that I've kind of been through the ringer and gone through all these mods, I realized that maybe the best thing to do initially if you want to go fast is to upgrade your transmission first, because honestly, you will probably need to do that before you need to upgrade your motor. Your motor, as you guys know and as I've shown you, can make a pretty good bit of power just in stock form. My car, before I built the motor, made 739 horsepower on just E50 and meth, and that's a lot of power. If you try to push that amount of torque, 750 pound-feet of torque, through a transmission, it's not going to happen. Your transmission's going to break. So even when I had about 730 or 740 horsepower going through my car, I only really had about 698 to 700 pound-feet of torque going through the transmission, and that was enough to break it. Now, obviously, the OEM transmission is not designed to take that kind of abuse, and that's okay. Like, we know that that was going to happen. We know that the transmission is weak, and not weak because it's a weak design, but just weak because I've thrown too much power at it. There are a lot of things that you can do to actually mitigate that and help with that. One of them is to get the right fluid, and as you saw on my transmission pan video, there is a fluid out there that actually helps a lot with this, but that's not a fix. The true fix to actually, getting your transmission to work right is to build it. It's no different than building an engine. However, a lot of what damages the transmission has to do with thermals. And the problem is, as your transmission gets hotter, your clutches start to wear faster, and everything inside of your transmission just starts to wear. So how do you mitigate that? So one of the ways to mitigate that, as I said, is to get the right fluid in there, but the other one is to actually add more cooling to your transmission. It's no different than running high IATs on your car. It's gonna affect performance. So what do? We add a transmission cooler. Now, when it comes to cooling on your BMW, particularly your F chassis, your G chassis, and there's been some changes along the way, but when we're dealing with an F chassis with a Gen 1 B58 in it, there are two cooling circuits that are really important. One of them is the engine heat management circuit, and the other one is a circuit specifically for the intercooler. However, within the intercooler circuit, there is also a transmission cooler. So one of the big issues that I have been facing has been high IATs, and part of the reason is hardware related. The manifold that I put on there is not the most efficient, but I do have a fix for that. So the problem is that the heat management for the transmission and the heat management for the intercooler run in the same circuit. And so what happens is that when you're constantly launching your car and you're heating up the transmission and torque converter and everything, all the heat is really high, and all that has to get transferred out somehow. So how does all that heat from the transmission come out? So the way it comes out is actually with fluid. So the transmission fluid is going to carry some of that heat out, run it through the little radiator heat exchanger, and then it's going to bring it right back with some cooler fluid. The problem with that is that that same little heat exchanger is also being used to exchange the heat from the intercooler. So you have two sources of heat coming to the same place. So with this, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna close loop the cooling system for the transmission and the cooling system for the intercooler. And the result of that is actually gonna be cooler IATs and a cooler transmission. And a cooler transmission means better friction on the clutches, which means better performance. So let's go ahead and look at this and see what's in it. Yes, here we go. Let's open this up. All right. All right, so we take that off. Here are some lines. Let's look at the construction on these. It looks really good, actually. Really good AN lines. They are braided. They probably are steel braided. I didn't ask. I do like the little BMS logo right there. Nice touch. A few more lines. Let's get these out of the way. Alright, here we have some hardware, it looks like. So this is part of the reason why it took me forever to get this. This is a funny story, but when they tested this, it was actually too efficient. So they had to make a thermostat and make some adjustments to have it not run as cold as it was running. And because too much cold is also bad. So this looks like a thermostat, oil thermostat right there. And then these look like they're more fittings. We'll go ahead and open it. Okay, and then the oil thermostat just comes out like this. You have your ins and outs. So we have these, and we have some more fittings, some more hardware. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all the hardware together. All right, we have some brackets, labeled brackets. Some tape right here. And people always ask me why I have long nails. This is exactly why. We have small bracket, big bracket. And then I think this is the thing we've all been waiting to look at. Just the actual cooler itself. Cut through this. Alright. And here it is, fellas. The BMS transmission fluid cooler. I can already tell you it looks like it's built well, and you know, you've probably seen these around. These are pretty common, but this is great. And it's actually, you know, it's a really good idea that they developed this, because there aren't other companies that are doing this, like building you a kit. You can do it yourself, of course, but building you an actual kit, it was really smart BMS to do this. Alright guys, that has been it for the BMS oil cooler unboxing. This is a transmission oil cooler, of course, and I'm very happy that someone came out with a product like this, everything pre-made. Of course, like I said before in the video, you can make it yourself, and it's actually not that hard, but you kind of have to know what you're doing. It's good that a company's coming out with a set of instructions and a full kit to make that easier for you. Really cool product. Can't wait to start using it. Can't wait to see my temperature drops, actually put this into real use on the track. And I think I'm gonna get some metrics later and probably post some results of what I find, if it gets cooler, if it is cooler, if my temperatures drop quicker, you know, things like that. But guys, on the next video pertaining to this, we're gonna see me install this on my car, and I'll give you a step-by-step video of how to do everything. There's a lot of parts to this, and there is a lot of disassembling that you need to do, but I don't think it's necessarily difficult. I think the most difficult part will be separating the little cooler that's at the transmission and blocking it off and doing everything to make this actually work. If you like what you saw and want to see more of this content, go ahead and click like and subscribe. Every product that I do an unboxing on goes on my car, so I'm not just speaking just to speak about it. I'm actually putting it in practice. So stay tuned for the installation video and for the videos following that are going to be speaking about this a little bit more. Talk to you later. Peace.